One of Brazil's most enigmatic landscapes defies logic and inspires awe. Giant rock formations appear to have been placed there by an unknown force, creating a unique and almost surreal scenery. The Lajedo de Pai Mateus is more than a natural monument, it is a place where science, mystery, history, and imagination converge. In this video, you will discover why this fascinating landscape has become one of the most surprising destinations in northeastern Brazil, and also the setting of the so-called Roliude nordestina, a backdrop for major Brazilian film productions. Located in the municipality of Cabeceiras, in the interior of the state of Paraíba, the Lajedo de Pai Mateus is considered one of the most impressive natural monuments in Brazil. About 12 kilometers, 7 miles, from the city center, in a straight line, this vast field of giant rocks draws attention for the almost impossible balance between massive stone blocks and the typical semi-arid landscape. But the impact of the Lajedo goes beyond its visual appeal. Over time, the site has come to gather stories, legends, and curiosities passed down through generations, helping to explain the fascination it holds for those who visit. Between scientific explanations and popular interpretations, many say the scenery is so extraordinary that it seems to have been sculpted by forces beyond human comprehension. It is this combination of nature, culture, and mystery that makes the Lajedo de Pai Mateus a truly unique place. The nearest airport is Campina Grande Airport, located approximately 46 kilometers, 29 miles, in a straight line from the Lajedo de Pai Mateus. From Campina Grande, access is by road, covering about 68 kilometers, 42 miles, along the fastest route. Of this total distance, only the final 9 kilometers, about 6 miles, are on a dirt road. This last stretch already hints at the experience ahead, with landscapes typical of Brazil's semi-arid northeast. Here, visitors reach the entrance gate to the Lajedo de Pai Mateus, next to a countryside hotel. Although there are other accommodation options in the region, the hotel's proximity makes it the most convenient choice for travelers wishing to explore the area more thoroughly and enjoy the available tourism services. For those coming from farther away, the city of Recife offers a wider range of flights and serves as an important gateway to the region. Recife is located about 140 kilometers, 87 miles, in a straight line from Campina Grande. After passing through the entrance gate, the journey continues for about 3.5 kilometers, 2.2 miles, along a dirt road, followed by a walk of approximately 500 meters to the heart of the rock formation. It is at this point that visitors encounter an extraordinary landscape, enormous stone blocks scattered across the ground and, in some areas, stacked upon one another, forming a scene that appears almost surreal. The name of the Lajedo originates from an old local legend. According to tradition, a healer who once lived in the region welcomed people seeking solutions to health problems. He was known as Pai Mateus, and it was from his story that the site came to be called the Lajedo de Pai Mateus. Considered a mystical place, the Lajedo is, as far as is known, unique in the world, bringing together rock formations of unusual shapes and remarkable natural beauty. The area extends for approximately 1.6 kilometers, 1 mile, along its longest axis and contains around 150 large rock blocks, most of them rounded in shape, weighing between 5 and 45 tons. The so-called Pedra de Casa do Pai Mateus house stone, is said to be the place where the healer who gave the Lajedo its name lived. To better understand the complex surrounding this formation, let's observe it in a full 360-degree view. This formation, like the other rocks in the area, is composed of large, rounded granitic blocks, also known as boulders, or matacos. This shape is the result of a natural weathering process known as the onion skin effect, exfoliation, caused by the action of time and elements on the rock. Observing these formations, it is inevitable to wonder how such imposing and singular structures could have formed over millennia. In addition to its symbolic and geological value, the site also holds historical records. The area served as a backdrop for the passage and presence of indigenous peoples and cangaceiros, including the group led by Antonio Silvino, a well-known rival of Lampião. Each formation at Lajedo de Pai Mateus seems to hold its own story, and the next one stands out for a curious detail. Right behind Pai Mateus stone, we find the ear stone. To take in all the details of this rocky ensemble, let's observe it in a full 360-degree view. Nature, in its wisdom, positioned this formation next to another in such a way that the set resembles an attentive ear, as if it were listening to what its neighboring stone has to say. Among the various rocky shapes of the Lajedo, one of the most eye-catching is the helmet stone. To observe all the details of this formation, follow along with a full 360-degree view. This formation has been widely photographed and publicized, even in international publications, becoming one of the most recognizable images of Lajedo de Pai Mateus. It is worth noting that the recognition of the Lajedo as a national tourist attraction predates its discovery and exploration by the foreigners who have visited Brazil over the years. Given its prominent position and grandeur, the question arises, could this have been the actual workplace of the healer, Pai Mateus? Right next to the helmet stone, there is another curious formation whose shape resembles a beret, further highlighting the natural creativity sculpted into the rocks of the Lajedo. Another curiosity of Lajedo de Pai Mateus is the so-called bell stone. For a better understanding of the complex surrounding this formation, follow along now with a 360-degree view. It earns this name because it emits a metallic sound when struck with a hard object, resembling the tolling of a bell. Similar phenomena can be observed in other regions of Brazil, such as areas within the states of São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, and Minas Gerais. One of the most famous examples is located in the Serra dos Orgulhos, in the state of Rio de Janeiro. Returning to Lajedo de Pai Mateus, we also find the wishing stone, known by many as the Pedra do Desejo. According to local tradition, visitors often make wishes at this spot, which gave rise to its name. This formation stands out due to its elongated shape and the fact that it is hollow at one of its ends, with enough space to shelter an entire person inside. Access to this hollow space is made through a narrow passage, passing under a tightly fitted ledge beneath the rock itself. Next, a 360-degree view will allow you to better understand the entirety of this rock formation. With so many natural attractions, Lajedo de Pai Mateus offers a variety of tour options for visitors. One of the most traditional tours takes place daily, starting at 4 p.m. and ending at the highest point of the Lajedo, providing one of the most memorable experiences of the site, watching the sunset. As it is both an archaeological and geological site, Lajedo de Pai Mateus can be explored in different ways, depending on the interests and physical preparation of each visitor. Tours vary in length and format. Longer distances can be covered using private transportation, such as cars, bicycles, ATVs, horses, horse-drawn carriages, or other available means. For organized groups, transportation can also be arranged via buses, vans, or minibuses. Regardless of the mode of transport used, part of the experience involves light hiking along trails. In some cases, it may require more physical effort, including inclines, natural climbing, or uneven terrain. Therefore, it is important to consider your physical fitness when choosing your tours, as this factor can be a determining factor for certain activities. An example is the visit to Lajedo Manoel de Souza, which we will see later in this video, and which requires better physical conditioning to reach the site. For more details about the tours, please check the video description. Near Lajedo de Pai Mateus, you will find the formation known as Saca de Lã, bale of wool. Next, a nearly 360-degree view will allow you to better understand this set of rock formations. It consists of a cluster of gigantic stones, stacked in an apparently symmetrical fashion, resembling bales of wool placed one on top of the other. This formation reaches about 20 meters in height, approximates 65 feet, and is especially impressive when viewed from the front. As you change your perspective, the perception of the image also transforms, revealing how one's gaze and the viewing angle influence the visitor's experience. As with the other formations at Lajedo de Pai Mateus, the most striking aspect is imagining how natural processes were capable of creating such singular structures. Near the Saca de Lã formation lies the Lajedo Manoel de Souza. To better understand the complex surrounding this formation, let's observe it in a full 360-degree view. This Lajedo is situated about 150 meters, nearly 500 feet, above its base, in the vicinity of Saca de Lã. The climb is steep and quite exhausting, but every bit of effort is rewarded upon reaching the summit. What you find there is an environment of virtually untouched nature, providing an authentic sense of direct contact with the natural world in its purest state. One of the formations at Lajedo Manuel de Souza features a space beneath the rock that is almost entirely sheltered from the elements, resembling the interior of a room in a house. The floor of this shelter is striking for being extremely smooth, giving the impression that it has not suffered from natural weathering over time. It feels as though the floor remains varnished, as if it had been prepared that way long ago. On the ceiling, one can observe rock paintings and ancient inscriptions, which reinforce the historical and symbolic importance of the site. Taking a pause in this space to observe the details, meditate, and reflect on what might have been the home of our ancestors is an experience difficult to describe in words. The uniqueness of the rocky blocks at Lajedo de Pai Mateus, such as the Pai Mateus house stone, the ear stone, and the helmet stone, among others, has captured the attention of locals, researchers, and visitors over time. It is believed that these formations, due to their shapes and characteristics, are unique in the world, which helped spark scientific, cultural, and tourist interest in the region. Following this recognition, Lajedo de Pai Mateus and its surroundings began to gain prominence at both national and international levels, consolidating its status as one of the most remarkable natural monuments in the Brazilian Northeast. Lajedo de Pai Mateus has served as the backdrop for numerous journalistic and cinematic productions. Due to the vast number of films, soap operas, short films, documentaries, and news reports filmed in the region, the city of Cabeceiras became known as the Roliude nordestina. The term Roliude is a light-hearted allusion to Hollywood, in the United States, considered the Mecca of world cinema. This nickname was adopted because of the significant number of productions filmed in the area, which already exceeds 50 national works, including movies, soap operas, series, and miniseries. In English, this concept can be translated as Hollywood of the Northeast, Brazil. This designation could just as well be Brazilian Hollywood, or even Hollywood of Brazil. In summary, this journey through Lajedo de Pai Mateus leads us to two main reflections. The first is that Lajedo de Pai Mateus, along with the other Lajedos and natural environments surrounding it, constitutes a collection of true wonders of nature. Some of its formations possess characteristics that may be considered unique and unprecedented in the world, both for their beauty and their singularity. The second reflection is that, precisely because of this natural, cultural, and historical importance, the site deserves special attention, with an infrastructure compatible with its value and tourism potential. Finally, an invitation remains, to visit, experience, and appreciate everything that Lajedo de Pai Mateus and its region have to offer is an experience that is certainly worth it. This is where we conclude, for now, until our next travel experience. This is where we conclude.